And is encouraged with this historic palace. Will allow the campaign, the state coordinator of this campaign in the state to introduce
gubernatorial candidate also.
Amen.
Alhaji Auji Mohammed, Margaret Obi.
Amen.
Your Royal Highness, I am Leti Baba Ahmed. Simply a son in this palace, because he's of blessed memory. Palace long before we came to meet you. On behalf of the Baba Ahmed family, Your Excellency, I bring you special greetings.
Amen.
With your kind permission, I will pass and yield the floor to our presidential candidate, sir.
No, existing protocols haven't been introduced, but recognizing the dignitaries that are here. We're here, Your Highness, for our campaign, like it's been mentioned, but we deem that it is necessary that we come to this revered palace to pay our respects, our loyalty, and solicit for your blessing as we go along seeking for our votes. Your Highness, I will not bore you with telling you about what is happening in Nigeria today. Everything that is happening in Nigeria today, Your Highness, is well known to you, and I'm sure you're as worried as all of us are. That this country, so blessed. When I was in the car coming to this revered palace, I was telling those who remain in the car, I said, look at the lovely mountains where people go to pay everywhere in the world to see. Look at the flood plains. These are what people are going to pay in Kenya and everything to see the Western way. Your Highness, Nigeria is collapsing. And it's doing so fast that we have now created 133 million people living in poverty. And Taraba is not an exception. It is happening here where you have millions of people who don't know where the next meal will come from. And that is what I and Baba Ahmed wants to reverse before it collapses finally. We want to reverse that situation where our children, young people in their productive age, are doing nothing except criminality. Where we all live in fear. Nobody can drive from here down to Abuja. When you leave, people will just be praying that you get there. When you're coming back, it's the same thing. And we can't go. The reason simply is cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years that have refused to invest in the people in Nigeria. Rather, we have a criminalized situation where people are stealing our money, and we must reverse it. So we have offered ourselves to first secure and unite Nigeria and make it productive, because today it is not productive. It is not working today. That is why a huge country of this size cannot feed itself, despite the fact that God gave us vast, fertile land. We can't feed ourselves. That is why a state like Taraba that can feed Nigeria is not doing so. Taraba, Your Highness, is 54.4 thousand square kilometers of land. So Taraba is bigger than Belgium and Israel put together.
54.4 million.
No, square kilometers.
Oh, okay, yes.
The land space. It is bigger than Belgium, and Israel put together. Both of them combined, Belgium is 30.9 thousand square kilometers, and Israel is 21.1. They are 53,000 square kilometers. Taraba is 54.4. Yet, we cannot feed ourselves. Taraba is on the plain of Mambila. So you can cultivate flour here. Kenya did export of over 500 million flowers last year. You can cultivate coffee here. Ethiopia did 1.1 billion export of coffee. You can cultivate tea here. Poor countries like Sierra Leone did 1.4 billion in tea last year. And I can go on and tell you what can be produced in Taraba. But we have the vast land of Taraba all cultivated, and that is how Nigeria is. The entire Nigeria is all cultivated because we are sharing money. All we do is to go to Abuja. Taraba as a state can generate 10 to 20 times what it gets from revenue sharing in Abuja. And all we need to do is to invest money in them. All we need is to do those programs we are doing to pull people out of poverty by coming to do it in Taraba. Your Highness, I'm happy that people are here taking what I'm saying. We have said we are not going to govern from Abuja. We will go to each state, invest in those states, see people. We will bring stakeholders like you to be in charge as we put the youths and women of Taraba out of poverty, as we put families out of poverty. All you hear in Nigeria is programs about agriculture, programs about poverty, programs. You hear them in TV. Nobody have ever seen it. And people are getting poorer every day. That's what we want to reverse. We want our children to be in school. We want to subsidize health. We want to stop by fighting criminality. Our farmers will go back to farm. We'll stop those who are stealing our oil. We will ensure that we stop the criminal subsidy of fuel and subsidize education and health. Because that's how Nigeria will develop. We'll educate our people, and we will do what it takes to put people out of poverty by first feeding ourselves. India used to ration food. Today India feeds itself, and there are 1.4 billion people living on a 3.2 million square kilometers of land. So we have more land to cultivate than India, and we can't feed ourselves. That's what we're going around telling people, asking them that next year's election should not be based on tribe. Let nobody come and say, I'm from here, I'm from here. No region, no side in Nigeria buys bread cheaper. No tribe buys bread cheaper. No tribe where there's no unemployment, no tribe where there's no hunger. Every tribe is going through hunger. Taraba, Kanu, Anambra, Oyo, everybody suffering the same thing. Next year's election should not be about religion. No religion in Nigeria buys bread cheaper. Everybody in Nigeria is hungry. Every tribe is going through the same problem. So we don't want it to be a tribal thing. We don't want to be tribal. We don't want it to be about religion. Today, as I've said everywhere, Dubai is supposedly a Muslim country, but the Catholic Church in Dubai was built by Emir of Dubai. Donated the land, built the church. In England, the Central Mosque in England, the land was donated free of charge by the Queen. That land alone is worth over several million pounds. Here, we've turned religion into another thing. We don't want it to continue. We want next year's election to be based on character we can trust. We want characters we can trust. Your Highness, everybody can go and verify about me, about Tati Ahmed, our background, whether we're involved with issues of corruption or anything. It is very easy. The verification is very easy. I was governor of a state for 8 years, and I've challenged anybody, go there and show me where their money is missing. And it's on record that when I left there, I was not owing salary, pension, gratuity, or owing any supplier or contractor that executed this thing. And I say it every day. And I challenge one contractor to say, I'm being owed. I challenge any citizen to say, I was owed of my pension or gratuity. And above all, that I left $150 million and 30 billion naira in the bank the day I left. Until today, Anambra State has not bought me a bottle of water because I have no gratuity, no pension, no severance, or any allowance, which is not what it is in every other state. And I plead, we've not been involved in corruption, we're wealth creators, and all we want is the opportunity to start pulling Nigeria out of poverty in a measurable manner, coming to each state, sitting down with the stakeholders, knowing what they want, supporting them, starting from agriculture, which is what we're endured with, which we find our land, into agro-processing, producing for export, because we must export goods. The reason why we don't have currency, our currency is weak today, as I conclude, is because we're not exporting anything. Your exchange rate is a function of your reserve. And what drives your reserve is export. If you're not exporting anything, you have no reserve. A huge country like Nigeria, with 220 million people, living on 923,000 square kilometers, our total export last year is 18.9 trillion, which is barely at official rate $47 billion. A country like Vietnam that is 100 million people, half of our population, living on 331,000 square kilometers, they live on a third of our land. Half of our population, the total export last year is over $300 billion. So we have room to do more, and we will do more. And that is what we're clamoring. That's what we're telling people. I want to see a Taraba state that is prospering. I want to see a Taraba state where these mountains are not just mountains, but tourist sites where people are visiting them as they're doing in Kenya. All these young boys here who are running around will become tour guides for those who are coming for tourism. They will become security for those who are coming for tourism. I went to Kenya, I saw it. Young people were planting flowers, are being paid $100. They enjoy, the rest are tourist guides, the rest are drivers. That is what should be happening in Taraba. That is what will make it work. Not what we are doing today, where they just wait to go and get a share of statutory allocation in Abuja, come here without doing anything, because it is difficult to sustain the state. That money cannot sustain the state. You need to earn much more, and that is what we want to do. I've told the governor that what you're earning, you can earn more from just cultivating flower than going to Abuja. But it is federal government that will drive that process, and we will drive that process. We will do it. So I thank you for finding out of your busy schedule to receive us to come and pay this loyalty. Be rest assured, we'll be back. We are not going to walk away. We are not one of those who go for campaign and then after campaign they disappear. That's why we said we'll come personally, put it on tape, so that they said these people promise this and they are back or they are not back. We must change our politics to become where citizens can trust their leaders. Today there's a disconnect. The people don't trust their leaders because all they do is tell lies, say things they will not do. We want to change it. It must be the other way around. where citizens can begin to build trust. Nigerians will be proud to be called Nigerians. We want to restore the dignity of our green passport globally and everywhere. Your Majesty, thank you, and may God continue to bless you.
My son, his running mate, Dr. Ahmed Dokti, my beautiful daughter, his wife. I could not but look at her twice and be proud that that is a good wife for a future president. My daughters that are here, apart from the beauty, I'm encouraged by the number in your team. It means we have hope. If this government comes, we are going to have a voice for the women. It is my pleasure to receive you, and it is my pleasure to be part of Nigeria. The presidential candidate has scratched the back a little, but as a father, I will put the line straight. The first issue before us as Nigerians is to turn leadership into science. The meaning of science is the search for truth, and the search for truth to be aimed at creating the best for humanity and in fact for all the animals. So in leadership, we as emirs in our training, the leader is an average sensible man holding the torch, looking at the best route, looking for the best route, and making sure he follows the best route correctly and encourages all the nation to follow the route that is good and correct. So the first thing in leadership is the clarity of purpose, honesty of purpose. Whoever seeks to be a leader should aim at his heart to be the best Nigerian, to serve Nigeria in the best of his ability, as we say always when we swear. And the best of ability comes when you become a scientist. A scientist is a person who sits down, investigates, finds out the best, and tries to implement the best to serve the best purpose of the country. I hope Mr. Peter Obi will make effort to become that. The second point is, each person hoping to succeed, the first job is his mother, is to make sure he is healthy, he grows, he becomes a successful person. And the first job of a mother is to identify sickness before the child dies. And the sickness of Nigeria today is the leadership. Mental failure, and mental failure in my definition, means a situation where a person is busy doing what is useless and he failed to address what is most useful. What does that mean? We sit down, big ceremonies, big persons, big objectives, big stories, the basic small issues before the nation are not even observed by the leader, not to talk of addressing it. So the first issue in Nigeria is total ignorance. Our most educated, unfortunately, can even be analyzed to be the most ignorant because they are ignorant of the reality of the situation of the country. We go on dreaming of solving problems when we failed to look at what the problems are in the first place. And no doctor can cure a disease if he cannot remember what the disease is. So fundamentally, all those in Hausa, we call them Shiga Shorobashan. That means he has no cows and he wants to be a herder. That is to say, he has no knowledge of leadership. And those of us that are born into it, learn it, and we know what to do, we are called traditional. You are lying to yourselves. We are the sensible people who know the past and who are going to guide you into the future. So I will list one by one. The first problem of this country is that we have no skill of any type. There is no field that we have excelled in the skill. Starting from basic, if you want to make a needle today, nobody here will tell me where do I start. As a Nigeria of 200 million people, we don't have one engine we can call our own. One engine drives pumps, one engine drives generators, one engine drives our windmills. Whatever we need today comes from engine or the electric motor. I want Mr. Obi to commit to us that he will wake up and say, what is the correct engine for Nigeria? What is the correct motor for Nigeria? And take the steps to reach that stage. The second element is the definition of comfort and honor. Once a leader thinks his comfort comes from income, from money, from material, then he has failed before starting.
Finish.
The comfort of a leader is from meeting the aspiration of his people. And I give you a test. Go out of Jalingo and ask anybody, is there anything Emir has taken from you? You will get the answer. Is there anything Emir has given you? You will get the answer. What I have taken from my people is zero. What I have given them is the right direction. That is the responsibility of leadership. The third is the word we call corruption. What is corruption? At the end of the day, corruption, pure and simple, is stupidity. Nothing more. You want to steal from your mother's pot. For who is she cooking in the first place? When you steal from the nation is yours. You don't have another place. The first time I was in London, the policeman asked me, why have you come to do here? I said, I'm not a madman that in my country I left and I don't know what to do. Between me and you, my friend, is your visa, here it is. If you are satisfied, you let me in. If you are not satisfied, I have a place I'm proud of. You are not going to ask me any question more than what is provided in the condition for my coming here. Because I don't have the need to come here. Because you are the person who felt the need to come there first. And you told us you've discovered us. I have also come to discover you. So basically, the word corruption is a situation where somebody wants to take advantage of another person. And there is no way you can take advantage of another person without creating an opportunity for another person also to take advantage of you. So the moment you are corrupt, you are also laying foundation for more corruption. You are laying foundation for the corruption that comes on you, and we are all going to be losers. I have been miserable in many occasions in this country, but never more than the day I saw in the newspapers, Justice of our Supreme Court are accusing the Chief Judge of corruption. When did they know it? It's a basic question. When did they know it? He was corrupt and they allowed him to become Chief Justice, then they are birds of the same feather. So basically, we must address corruption at every level. And the first person to address corruption is the person that is leading. If you become president of Nigeria and you change and determine that you will never be corrupt, nobody else will be corrupt.
100%.
100%.
100%.
But I will tell Mr. Obi, I heard this 20 times without any apology. Almost every presidential candidate comes here and tells me, and I tell him what is right, and he tells me I'm right, he's going to do that. Now you have taken the debt, and Jalingo will write a record. I'm happy that you said we are recording what you are saying. I am also going to be happy that you are recording what I'm saying. And the next day I come to us, I will not be told that I'm too small to reach the president.
No. You will never be. I'll come back here.
So, I want to tell all Nigerians that we have a country to be proud of. All we need is to accept the truth. The truth is nobody is going to wipe our tears except our effort and commitment. We must all be committed to do the best. We must be committed to keep Nigeria one. We must be committed to ensure the progress of Nigeria. And Nigeria can only progress through our skills, effort, and earnest achievement. We should stop compensating people for contributing to the destruction of the country.
Completely.
Completely. Until and unless we do that, we are all going to be doomed. And I pray we never will be. Now finally, my son brother and guests, I have sympathy for you. This is a man that there is no doubt he is of the age to be a president. He is of the maturity to be a president. The rest, of course, will be determined by God and others, not the Emir of Muri only. But all the facts before me clearly seems good and in his favor. The problem I fear and worry for him is that we cannot escape the fact there is no presidential candidate that does not have a tribe. Every presidential candidate has a mother, and every mother has a room, and every room is located in one local government or the other, and every local government is located in a state and a zone. So there is no presidential candidate that does not have a state. There is no presidential candidate that not have a zone, and there is no reason anybody from any zone cannot be the president of Nigeria. That one is a definite and agreed fact. But the current developments in the East makes me very uncomfortable. Many of you are ladies. I will ask you, which girl, which wife will give her back to the husband that is going to court to seek for divorce? Once your husband is seeking for divorce, then you already have divorced. And therefore, the people of the East must help this gentleman by accepting and facing the fact that they are leaders in trading in Nigeria. They are leaders in effort in Nigeria. They should also be leaders in uniting Nigeria. There is no way, Mr. Obi, your younger brother can tell me that I cannot go to Unigo on Monday. And then I will tell him he's acting correctly. I am a goat rearer. I sell my goats to the East. And the vehicles we have can break down anytime. When we start going to the East, you can't say the date you arrive. You have to arrive whenever it's possible to arrive. In a situation where somebody tells me that I cannot enter a so place on Monday, is a disaster for the nation. It should be avoided. It should be thrown out. I have no business with anybody agitating for anything. It's a right. But every right should draw within the Constitution. Thank you very much.
Our incoming Vice President, distinguished all these religious leaders to come to Taraba, and here with Sheikh Mohammed and other religious leaders. We will begin with the Muslim prayer from
So we are going to perform the Islamic Bishop to show to the all masses that he is going together with all each other. You can see Archbishop Kawas is successful. May the Almighty Allah Zadina Lafia. Allah ya sa Nigeria ta zauna lafiya. Fitintinun da suke faruwa dare da rana ga samu Najeriya Allah ya mayar da mata arzikinta. Ina min al-masa'ib wal ahzan wala tad'al azaim zunubana hajibatan lima yanzil ilayna min fadlik wala mani'atan liman wala tunilna min fadlika at-tarda wal khuzlan fa innaka akramu man waqafa bi babihi sa'ilun wa awsa majdan min kulli man tabi'a fihi.
We go around 2023. We shall all eat the good of the land because we are all obedient. For the Bible said, if ye be willing in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
zaman lafiya, za mu kawo kuɗi, za mu kawo aiki, za mu kawo zaman lafiya, haɗin kai, kuɗi, arziki, matasa, mata, yan uwa jama'an Jalingo, ina farin ciki yanda na same ku a haka. Na zo muku da wani babban bako, na zo muku da babban sako, na zo muku da babban alkawari. Wannan bakon sunan shi Peter Gregory Obi. Idan ana kirga mutum 10 a Najeriya da suka kera kansu, idan ana kirga mutum 10 da suka taka kara suka karya, yana cikinsu. Duk wani taro yana zama a layin gaba. Mutumin nan ya yi karatu, mutumin nan ya yi aiki, mutumin nan ya yi kasuwanci, mutumin nan ya yi shugabanci. Bayan ya sauka yana zaune lafiya. Cikin abokan shi akwai masu kudin ƙasar nan, amma cikinsu shi kaɗai ya tsame kanshi saboda kishi, saboda san Najeriya, saboda kishin ruwan ya taimaka ma Najeriya, ya ce zai siyasa. Sauran masu kudin Najeriya sun gwammace su je su zauna suna more abubuwan da Allah ya sauwaƙan musu. Cikinsu mutum ɗaya ne ya sauwaƙan ma kanshi, ya sadaukar, ya ce duk abin da yake da shi zai kashe a dalilin talakawa. Sunan shi Peter Obi. Yan uwa jama'an Jalingo, idan lokacin fitar da shugabanni ya zo, ba lokacin nishadi ba ne, lokacin amfani da hankali ne. Kuma an san mutumin arewa da karamci, an san mutumin arewa da ɗaukaka gaskiya da kare gaskiya. Kuma siyasar Najeriya mu yi ne su yi ne. Akwai wani takaddama da ake ciki yanzu, akwai wani yaƙi da ake kan yi yanzu. Yaƙin nan ba tsakanin abin da aka yarda da shi ba ne, ba tsakanin ƙabilanci ba ne. Yaƙin nan tsakanin shugabanci na gari da kuma masu lalata Najeriya ne. Brothers and sisters, I'm saying that there is a war raging in Nigeria now. That war is not between tribes. It is not between faiths. It is between the good people of Nigeria and bad governance. And that war we must win. Nigeria must unite. The meaning of unity is to bring Peter Obi to Nigeria. Yanwa, lokaci kaɗan ya rage ƙasan nan ta koma hannun talakawa, ta koma hannun jama'a, su san cewa tasu ce. Daga ran da, saurare ni, a rayuwar nan waye baya son sabon abu? Labour Party. Wane ne baya son abu mai ƙarfi? Peter Obi. Wane ne bai son shugaba mai gaskiya? Babu. Duk Najeriya mun amince. Ina gaya muku yan uwa, samo wa kai shugaba na gari sa kuɗi ne a aljihu. Samo shugaba na gari ilimi da lafiya ne aka. Samo shugaba na gari kawo tsaro ne har gaban gidanka. Saboda haka ku shirya, watanni kaɗan suka rage, kwanaki kaɗan suka rage, Najeriya za ta nuna wa duniya cewa mutanenta suna da hankali, sun san ciwon kansu. 'Yan Najeriya kansu a haɗe yake. 'Yan Najeriya sun san abin da ya dace. Lokaci kaɗan ya rage, za mu taso daga consumption zuwa production. Shugaban mu kenan Peter Obi. Yan uwa, ina matuƙan godiya, ku ba mu ƙuri'a, ku yi mana ruwan saman ƙuri'a, ku ga abin alherin da zai biyo baya. Ina godiya, sai mun zo bayan mun kafa gwamnati insha Allah.
Peter Obi, Peter Obi, Peter.
Please, those that are seated under the tent, those that are under the tent, our president would like to see your faces. On that note, we appeal that you come out of the tent as you listen to him. Jama'a da suke karkashin canopy, za ku iya fitowa domin shugaba ya ga.
Ba za mu kuma ba, duk wanda ya ce ba haka bane ba mu gaya mishi wallahi tallahi dan talaka shi ake da Najeriya. Haka take ko ba haka take ba, dan talaka shi ake da Najeriya. Idan lokacin zaɓe ya zo, sai su zo su same mu, su ce mu jefa musu ƙuri'a. Idan aka jefa musu ƙuri'a, sai su ɗauki siren ɗinsu suna barbaɗa mana ƙura. To mu yanzu lokaci ya zo da za mu barbaɗa musu ƙura. Ranar zaɓe za mu barbaɗa musu ƙura. In ga yatsunku, ku ɗaga min yatsunku. In ga yatsunku, ku ɗaga mana yatsunku. In ga yatsunku, ku ɗaga mana.
We will make sure, keep it. We are not going to govern from Abuja. We are not going to remain in Abuja. We are going to come to here to fight poverty. We will empower you people. Those people in Abuja, they don't come here. We are going to come here. We are going to make it work. Look at Mandela. Look at the land here. We will cultivate it. We will make this a tourist center. People will come here. That is what we want to do. We assure you of our commitment. Taraba is a tourist center. We will turn it into a tourist center. Here we can grow flower, we can grow tea, we can grow coffee. We want to come and do it here for export, and you will be rich. We want to be able to make Nigeria. We are moving Nigeria from consumption to production. We are not going to tell you story. Take what we are saying. Take it. We must end Nigeria. Telling Nigeria lie. We can't tell them lie again. We can no longer tell them lie again. We assure you of our commitment. We want to build a better Nigeria. We want to build a Nigeria where people are prosperous. We want to build a Nigeria where people can eat. The rest assured that Taraba State becomes what it's supposed to be. So please support us. Leave these people. They've been in government since. All they've done in Nigeria, people are hungry, people are poor, no school, no hospital, no road. We are going to change all that. That's what we want to change. We are here in Taraba today asking you for your vote. Take our note. We are not going to be the same thing. We want people to believe in government. We want people to trust government. And the only way to trust government is that whatever we say, we are going to do it. assure you of that. Our commitment is total. Labour, so we are not your politicians. We have something we are doing, and we are committed to doing the right thing. So thank you. Thank you. Go out to the villages. Tell them we are coming. Labour Party. Go out and support us. We are committed to this. We will make Nigeria better. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for support of this. Thank you for everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are very grateful. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. So I'm taking them down.
Hallelujah. Hey, now come down, DJ. DJ, come down. Pop champagne. Okay. Labour Party is our own. Labour Party is our own.